Doc Loves the Kids, a local Kitsap County nonprofit organization established in 2015 whose mission is to provide activities, programs, and community support for at-risk youth.
They put the you in community.
Doc Loves the Kids.
Welcome to Uncommon Courtesy,
where we give you the courtesy of conversation
that's uncommonly spoke of.
I'm D-Mac.
I'm Wesley.
And this is the show. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Don't forget to catch us on our other shows, The Friday Fix, UFC with LT, Plays and Parlays, and Civil Discourse. Well, hello, Senior Wesley. Welcome back to New America.
It is a new America, right now.
Watch what you're saying. They're going to get canceled. Hold on.
They are canceling stuff quick right now, ain't they, man? This is getting out of control. I thought that they always said the left was cancel culture, but we figured out who really cancel culture is right now. I've never seen this kind of stuff happen from anyone ever before. You know what I mean? But I know you got something a little bit more deeper, in depth in this situation.
Yeah. I mean, we've been warning people for a minute, but by the time you see this, Disney's ABC pulls Jimmy Kimmel live after FCC chair criticizes the host's Charlie Kirk comments. Disney's ABC said Jimmy Kimmel Live will be pre-empted indefinitely. A spokesperson confirmed to NBC News after the late night host Monday's monologue about conservative activist Charlie Kirk. Kirk, co-founder of Turning Point USA, was giving a presentation at Utah Valley University when he was fatally shot last week. During his monologue Monday, Kimmel raised the possibility that the alleged assassin Tyler Robinson might have been a pro-Trump Republican. The Maga gang, desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them, and doing everything they can to score political points for it, Kimmel said. On Wednesday, Federal Communications Commissioner Chair Brandon Carr threatened to take action against Disney and ABC over the comments. Nexstar Media Group, Inc. announced that the company's ABC affiliate will preempt Jimmy Kimmel Live for the foreseeable future, beginning with tonight's show. This article was originally published on NBCnews.com. And so the thing is, Nexstar they're looking for this big deal they're about to have with the FCC, and they have to go through the FCC to get it. And through the president has to sign off on it. So they got to do whatever to appease him. But,
folks, the king, to appease the emperor that we now have in office, man. It's gotten to a point right now, not to even take the ball out of your court real quick, but this is nuts, man. This is crazy. We've talked about this. These are all Project 2025 things. He just asked the Supreme Court to basically give him all powers over the U.S. economy, man. Imagine where this is heading right now. We've gotten Jimmy Kimmel taken off air, Stephen Colbert taken off air, because you're just
taken off air.
Howard, did they?
Oh yeah, Howard Stern. Yeah, they're cutting Howard Stern off too. And then, so next they're coming. They're already talking about coming for.
Go ahead. Who?
They're already talking about coming for the. They've been wanting the View. They've been coming for the View. We told what. Good. I'm not going to sugarcoat this for the rest of the world, Wes. I told everybody else, it was okay when they were, and the whole thing about free speech is like, when Trayvon Martin was killed, they were doing memes. People were making fun of him. George Floyd was killed. People are posting years later, hey, he's 5 years sober. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. We're supposed to sit there and take it. It's all free speech. But when it's somebody that they cared about, you see how soft they get, how much tears and crying people are getting, right? But the thing is, they have power to do something about it. So you know what? Good. This is what all of you deserve. Every last one of you. You wanted to be righteous, and you didn't want to vote for Kamala Harris. You didn't want to vote for Hillary Clinton. Look where it got you.
Let me say this, though. Let me say this, man. When we really look at the situation, this is affecting all of us, man. We're all going to suffer for this. All of us. So even if it is just a selected group that went out and actually didn't want to vote for this, or the people who actually voted for this BS, we're all suffering for this. We're all dealing with this type of stuff. We're all dealing with a new America right now. We're dealing with an America that is being censored, America that is being ran into the ground, turned into a tyrannical rule. I mean, this is nuts to me. Now, this is something that
is your streets being over policed? Are your words being censored? Are the people, do you say something bad about people and they cancel you? Well, welcome to Black America, ladies and gentlemen. When it was happening to us, you really didn't care. It didn't bother you. It didn't affect you. Now, Wes, you're like, hey, they're going to come after us. They've already been coming after us. Now everybody's getting a little taste of what it's like. You don't like it, do you? Huh? It bothers you every day, don't it? It makes you mad. Doesn't it make you angry? Huh? And don't worry, the Democrats ain't going to come save you. They're not. Look at us. They only they'll come around when it's time to vote. Don't worry, folks.
Honestly, I mean, you have to look at it from a perspective that they're part of this process. This isn't a coincidence, man. Things don't just happen in this country. It didn't just happen by happenstance that Barack Obama was not able to fill the last judicial seat in the Supreme Court. None of this stuff has happened since we didn't just so happen to stumble into a Trump after we had Obama. None of this is. I think they're all a part. They understood that Trump could get the people who would normally fight against this to go along with it, because he would speak their language, their racist language, their anti-immigration language, their anti-self language. Oh, get up by and pull yourself up by your bootstraps. These other people are the problem, and make them feel like they're not the problem when everyone knows this is a situation to where it's they're wealthy against the people without money. It's a horrible thing to say, because I love money. I'm a big money person. But this is what this is.
They said that. They're like, look, the billionaires are the ones pitting us against each other, right? Because the billionaires, right, they get paid on the bullets you buy, right? Then they get paid when you got to go to the hospital after you got shot. They get paid on everything. You know what I'm saying? So they're putting everybody against, but some people are happy to do it as long as it's their side that are pushing a thumb down on people. But I told a lot of people this before, and I said it before. If you elected Donald Trump again, he's going to finish off America like he was doing before. And now you guys are getting pressed for it. It's like, for me, it's like I'm sitting there and I'm trying to feel bad, but I don't feel bad. You know what I'm saying? I've had a thumb out the back of my neck my whole life. People say, oh, you're imagining things. You know what I'm saying? That's not really happening. Now look what's happening to you. You're losing your freedom of speech. Your gas is expensive. Your groceries are expensive. You barely can keep your lights on in your house. You know what I'm saying? Your states are about to be run by National Guard and federal troops. So guess what? You're about to be over-policed. You know what I'm saying? And they say that you deserve it because a small few are committing all these crimes. I don't feel bad. We told you what was going to happen. You sat there and laughed like, it's not going to affect me. But now look at it. You can't even make a post. You can make a post about Trayvon Martin all you want. You can make a post about Tamir Rice all you want. You can make a funny post about Breonna Taylor, but say something about the dude they like that got shot. They're trying to cancel you. They're calling your jobs. But the left was doing it too.
I mean, I don't think that I don't know about this far. I guess I'll have to say people were saying certain things. I think there was more of a racial tone to what was being said, that they were getting in trouble for, not so much the insensitivity to what just happened. But this guy right here, they just had most NFL stadiums just commemorated this dude's memory, had a moment of silence when Colin Kaepernick could barely take a knee and no one wanted him on their football team. You just had a guy who committed racist acts. I mean, had racist overtones in his speech the whole entire night. I mean, this is basically what his whole entire, what he ran on, what his whole entire campaign of just hate was misogyny, was against gay people, was against blacks. I mean, and you made everyone in the NFL stadium stop and take a moment of silence for this person. This is what America is. He flew out on when his body was brought back from Utah. They brought it back on Air Force 2. You had the vice president of the United States go and help carry the body of this person like he was some type of hero.
Yeah, some hero, some politician. And it's crazy. They didn't have an autopsy. They had the funeral like 2 days later, I was like, that's pretty quick. They're moving along. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's going on with that assassination, which it was assassination.
And we'll talk about it.
That doesn't make sense, right? Like the shooter.
We'll have we got a segment coming up about it really quick here. We got one coming.
A lot of that stuff's not making sense. But at the end of the day, remember, the only thing I thought was funny was Pam Bodie came out and was like, she was like, hey, we're gonna censor and get rid of hate speech, and we're gonna make sure we get hate speech and get people that do hate speech. And all the Republicans came out they was like, whoa, hold on now, you're tripping. Like that's us. That's us. That's us. We do hate speech, but you can't call it hate speech. It's freedom of speech. But they're getting rid of it because as long as they don't like what you say, they can do it. They have the power to do it. They're doing it now. they're doing the cancel culture stuff. You know what I'm saying? Now everybody gets to see what the effects is like being a black person. Look, even the baby, I don't know if you saw it, the rapper The Baby made a song to try to say, oh, help me for the lady that was stabbed on the subway.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like he knows where his audience, at least he's trying to get in the good graces. He knows where his money's at. But I mean, people keep saying we're heading towards an authoritarian government. We're having a dictator. No, we had a dictator since January 20th. You're just not wanting to bite the bullet because you still want to have your people following you and listening to the BS you're spewing. It's over, folks. America is gone. There's no way you're going to fight back. The only way this is going to happen as soon as the farmers lose all their farmland, and then they start coming trying to take your guns because they're trying to lock up the trans people right now. I don't know if you saw that. You know what I'm saying? There's politicians saying, hey, we need to lock them all up.
Yeah, I saw that. I definitely did. I mean, we got a lot more to talk about, but yeah, this has been it's a crazy time we're in right now. But Charlie Kirk shooting suspect, conditions for surrender had to be gentle.
I bet they did.
Tyler Robinson, the suspect who was charged in the shooting of Charlie Kirk, was apprehended in what needed to be gentle conditions when he turned himself in to authorities, according to Washington County Sheriff's Office. At 8:02 p.m. on September 11th, Washington County Sheriff Nate Brooksby said he received a call from a retired detective, with Brooksby saying he couldn't fathom what would come out of his mouth. He told Brooksby, I know who Charlie Kirk's shooter is, the sheriff said during a press conference on Wednesday. Just before 10 p.m. that night, Robinson, his father, and a close friend who previously worked in law enforcement drove together from Washington, Utah to Washington County Sheriff's Office in Hurricane. Sergeant Lance Alfred, a spokesperson for the sheriff's office, told ABC News. During the drive, the family friend called the personal cell phone of the Washington County Sheriff's Office Patrol Division Chief to report the suspect was about to turn himself in, Alfred told ABC News. Robinson, the 22-year-old who was charged with aggravated murder on Tuesday, allegedly knew it was inevitable that he would be caught and was fearful of being shot by law enforcement, Washington County Sheriff's Office said during a press conference on Wednesday. When Robinson arrived at the sheriff's office, he was taken into a building marked authorized personnel only, with personnel from the sheriff's office notifying the Salt Lake City FBI office and other local law enforcement officials of the suspect's arrival. Robinson was kept in back offices of the sheriff's office and turned over to the FBI and other law enforcement upon arrival, which was just before 6 a.m. on Friday. He was described as quiet and somber, officials said on Wednesday. Officials said they attempted to make conditions gentle and inviting for Robinson before the FBI and other law enforcement arrived. Robinson was formally charged with aggravated murder on Tuesday, with prosecutors announcing the intent to seek the death penalty. He was also charged with felony discharge of a firearm causing serious bodily injury, obstructing of justice, 2 counts of witness tampering, and a commission of a violent offense in the presence of a child, Utah County Attorney Jeff Gray announced. So this is the young man who now I'm gonna call him young man. This is the man who allegedly shot and killed Charlie Kirk.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. So, I mean, the more information that they have was that he had allegedly had a transgender lover, allegedly, that he lived with. And this was allegedly part of the reasons to why this may have happened. He had wrote some text messages to him saying that he just couldn't stand this person's hate. I'm paraphrasing. And this was kind of the reason why this happened. He was very afraid that the transgender alleged lover would be caught up in this, and he asked him to erase the text messages that they sent back and forth. He admitted that, and during the text messages, allegedly, that he'd actually done the act. But I mean, this was a very strange thing. I mean, we have a person here who dressed up as Donald Trump for Halloween. I'm not sure of how many years back it was, but he dressed up as Donald Trump for Halloween. His family was staunchly right-wing Republican family, pro-gun. He's pro-gun. They grew up Mormon, so religious. A lot of Mormons are by de facto Republicans as well. Utah is a Mormon state, red all the way through and through. And I think the one thing that they're trying to draw a conclusion of all this is that he may have had a transgender affair with a transgender of some sort. But I'm thinking, does being transgender make you a Democrat? I don't think it does. Look at Caitlin Clark. I mean, not Caitlin Clark. Sorry, let me take that back. Caitlyn Jenner. Sorry, Caitlin Clark. We apologize.
There's a lot of gay Republicans and stuff. Also, it's the first they're saying, well, he lives with his parents. Then he lived with the gay roommate. Then they're saying, well, they're saying he wasn't a Republican or a Democrat. He was like a groper. Well, I mean, the person he was Nick Fuentes is who he followed. Yeah, he was more. He didn't like Charlie Kirk because he wasn't right wing enough. And there people are understanding that there's this whole subculture on the internet, and the person he dressed up in that tracksuit, and it's from a meme like some kind of Pepe the Frog or something like that, which the right wing people use. And that's what they said was on the guns. But I mean, a lot of stuff isn't making sense. They're just saying he didn't like Charlie Kirk. They said he killed him, allegedly shot him just to do it. Like it wasn't about him hating him. He just did it because he wanted the notoriety, like a regular school shooter. He's like, I take this guy out, I'm going to be known. And now everybody's throwing their stuff out there. And the thing is horrible. Look at the administration we have right now. They didn't know, and I'm talking to people. I talked to people that day, and they didn't know who did it. I had people on my Facebook writing whole manifestos about the left and transgender and all of you need to die and you need to go. And I'm sitting here like, you don't even know who did it. You know what I'm saying? You don't even know why did it, right? Then it comes out, oh, he's a 22-year-old European American. Now they're like, you saw Nancy Mace, they need to die. Then she saw it was a white kid. She was like, Charlie will
prayers and prayers and
stuff. Stuff. They were hoping, and even the governor of Utah was like, yeah, man, it was one of ours. We thought hopefully it was somebody, from out of state or out the country or something. It was one of ours. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and it's hard for them. They want to, but I mean, people, y'all need to sit there and realize, depending on who you had on your Facebook and the messages, these people are going to kill you. They're going to come for you and blindly murder you and your family. You are following this democratic way of trying to no guns. Let's not have a bunch of magazines and peace and love. Look, love has never won a damn thing. Show me one thing love has won and conquered. All right. They've been telling, look, and as an African American, foundational Black American, I've been told that my whole life. It's never gonna. We shall overcome. It's not gonna happen, bro. You can't defeat hate unless you match hate with hate. Okay.
I know that. With this entire.
Let me cook. You know what you need to do? You need to go get you some guns. You need to tool up because they're gonna come get you. That's what's happening. These people are ready. Civil War started. Let's do it. Then they found out. Okay, now it's canceled because he's one of ours. They're still mad. They're still trying to press it like, oh, he's a leftist. Donald Trump came out and said the left did it. J.D. Vance came out and said the left did it.
Bibi Netanyahu came out and said the left did it. Bibi Netanyahu, Israel, the prime minister of Israel, came out and said it. Nick Fuentes came out and said that, that he just came out and said that Bibi Netanyahu offered Charlie Kirk $150 million.
Yeah.
On top of this, the guy who was originally grabbed was a Jewish guy who the old man who was originally grabbed. He's like almost a crisis. This dude's like a crisis actor to a degree.
A fake call to the Boston bombing, and somehow he claimed he was at the 9/11. And it's crazy. He's at these. There was two people down there that claimed they did it. Right? You know what I'm saying? They're distractors.
Shoot me! Did you hear him yelling at? His pants coming down.
And it doesn't make any sense, right? This kid had this rifle. He got up on the roof with the rifle. Somehow he took the rifle, shot the shot, got off, disassembled the rifle, got off the roof, and then put it back together and left it in the woods. And then wrote his friend saying, Grandpa's going to be so upset I left the weapon. And I mean, even Candace Owens looked at this list they said was the text message. They're like, nah, prove it. Show us the timestamps. Because it looks like you got Chat GPT to write this up. And then you got Kash Patel, who's over there like an idiot, texting, okay, we found the shooter. Okay, no, that's the wrong person. That's not the shooter. You know what I'm saying? He's not law enforcement. He's not law enforcement.
He's an idiot. He's an idiot. He's literally an idiot.
Even if you were a full white supremacist right winger, I'd still want you to be a police officer that's running the FBI. You know what I'm saying? Because at least you have the moral compass to know how investigations go. And so he's trying to tweet out there to be the first person to be important and stuff.
I mean, just like he's saying that they caught him, and in reality, this is another thing here too. You know that Bill Ackman, I mean, I think he's from Pershing, Financial, but I'm not. Don't quote me on the name of his financial. Bill Ackman's a huge investor. He's a Jewish investor. He put out $1 million reward for the person who catches Charlie Kirk's killer. You know who caught him? You know who turned him in?
His dad.
Think about that now.
They're saying the kid didn't even confess yet.
He hasn't confessed at all. I mean, the kid hasn't talked at all. But think about that. You know what I mean? Now your dad's going to get $1 million from someone for turning you in for you committing a shooting. I'm gonna leave that on the table to to kind of play it as you may, because this kid might have been weak enough minded to be able to be coerced into thinking. So who knows? It just seems weird to me. It doesn't seem like it doesn't just add up to me.
I mean, if you
$1 million reward.
$1 million reward. Think about it. You're watching the video, you're seeing people do hand signals. It looks like, I mean, they got a video from the guy that's to the right of him. Looks like he was the one that took the shot. Looks like the guy in front of him shot him.
They said the engravings on there were not really engravings. They said they were actually the bullet case, like from the factory wrote on there. But first they telling everyone that it said all these things on them. It just these were just
which were memes that were used. Like, because I watched this video of this black lady, and she was explaining it. She was like, "Yo, like we older people, we look at politics as left and right." And then we're not understanding that the subcultures online, like these people are like, they're right leaning, left leaning, they're a little bit of everything. And then they and stuff in the middle and extra things. It's like a whole different political sphere online that we as older folks don't understand. We're just black and white, basically. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Left and right. And so this guy, they're saying he was a groper. You know what I'm saying? And a groper is that they're basically, their whole thing is like, they feel like they're going to die alone. It's a loneliness thing. And they follow the dude Nick Fuentes, and Nick, he didn't like Charlie Kirk because he felt Charlie Kirk wasn't far right enough. You know,
he was in bed with Israel. This is what he felt like.
At the end of it, he started to get away from it. He started to question things. Like Netanyahu offered him $150 million to put propaganda. Turn it down. He also offered him to come over to Israel and get re-educated. He turned that down. Then he had videos where he was questioning them. He was like, "So how is this supposed to end in Gaza?" He's like, I went to Israel a while back, and he's like, that place is heavily guarded. So how did you let October 7th happen? You know what I'm saying? He started questioning them. Am I saying they're part of the issue?
They said that $150 million would have doubled his budget for the company that he ran. He says, I can't remember what it's called exactly, but his company, his budget was $140 million a year. This guy offered him 150, which would have doubled his budget. Go ahead.
Yeah, it would have doubled his budget. And so he started to question them. Am I saying they're part of the issue? But I mean, it always just kind of runs back to this. But I mean, who knows? I mean, we're going to get more information that comes out of this. Do I believe? For me, it's like this. I look at this like this, folks. If I go online and I see someone like a Charlie Kirk or Nick Fuentes or anybody like that, and they're saying something I don't like, you know what I do? I turn it off. I don't pay attention to things that are supposed to going to upset me and piss me off. You know what I'm saying? So do I feel bad for him being murdered? Yeah. No one should die for what they have to say in their beliefs. No matter if I don't like them, if they're hate-filled or not. I've lived in America all my life. I've dealt with hate all my life. You know what I'm saying? But for him to be assassinated, that's a horrible thing. You know what I'm saying? We shouldn't go to violence. And no matter what you blame the left or the right, there's violence. And America was built off it. And America was built off hate and violence. And if you spew, what you put out is what you're going to get back. Absolutely. If I'm a rapper and I rap about killing people and shooting people and selling drugs, and somebody comes to take my stuff, that's the energy I put out into the world. I ain't never seen Common Sense getting robbed. Ain't nobody running up on Mos Def like, give me your Shiraka. You know what I'm saying? But the energy you put into the world is what you're going to get back. And unfortunately, that kind of just happened to him. But also, people, it seems like the shooter was just trying to make a name for himself. But we'll never know the truth because there's so much false information going out. There's going to be so many conspiracy theories. And then even if the truth is, say the guy that shot him was a right winger, and he just wanted to kill him because he wasn't racist enough. Our government's not going to let that out. They're not going to give us that information.
Yeah, they don't want that to be the narrative. The narrative cannot be that right now. The narrative needs to be race baiting. The narrative needs to be left hating, just like they had those marches. I mean, I can't remember where I think it was in Florida where those huge marches. I don't want to.
All over the world, all over the United States.
Huge marches. I mean, you got some going on over in England right now, or Great Britain, the UK. It's nuts right now. Like, really, it's a lot of hate. This world is really hate filled right now. And it's really, people are watching, like you said, Wes, they're watching themselves disappear. That's all it is. And when your numbers are getting low and you're like, dang, it don't look like it did when I was a kid, because you're not birthing enough. Think about it. Your government done stretched you so far where you don't have enough money to do nothing. The only people having babies are poor people because they can't afford the condoms, because you closed all the Planned Parenthoods where they're giving them out for free. I mean, even the White House just got rid of their statistics where it was saying that, right wing violence has escalated. It's the number one acts of violence going on in America. The White House got rid of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, people need to realize, you're sitting here listening to other people. I don't know why they're doing this. We're heading towards the third. Get your guns up, fools.
I mean, if you can't sit there and protect your family, if you can't protect yourself, you're about to be, excuse my language, shit out of luck. And think about it, they was ready to kill. I know you about what they was ready to kill you, not even knowing. They were like, "Yo, this is who I don't like. This is who I'm coming after." And y'all sitting here trying to be, oh, let's hold your feelings. Nah. You know what time it is.
Qatar hosts Arabic Islamic Emergency Summit. Who said what? An emergency summit of Arab and Muslim countries held in Doha has declared its solidarity with Qatar and condemned Israel's bombing of the Qatari capital last week. The extraordinary joint session between the Arab League and the Organization of Islamic Cooperation gathered nearly 60 member states on Monday. Leaders said the meeting marked a critical moment to deliver a united message following what they described as an unprecedented escalation by Israel. The Israeli attack targeted senior Hamas leaders who were meeting to discuss a United States-backed ceasefire proposal. At least 6 people were killed in the unprecedented attack, which has drawn condemnation from around the world, including Arab and Muslim countries. My country's capital was subjected to a treacherous attack targeting a residence housing facility, housing the families of Hamas leaders and their negotiated delegation, Qatari Emir Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani said in his opening speech.
Damn.
Sheikh Tamim added that Israel was not interested in ending the war in Gaza, as it is trying to thwart the negotiations. If you wish to insist on the liberation of hostages, why do you then assassinate all negotiators? How can we host in our country negotiating delegations from Israel while they send drones and planes for an air raid against our country? Qatar's emir added that Netanyahu's dream of Arab region becoming an Israeli sphere of influence. This is a dangerous illusion, he said. The negotiations between Israel and Hamas were about to reach an achievement with the help of a sisterly country of Egypt and the United States of America. This has resulted in the liberation of many hostages. Israel continues its intrinsic and insistence on continuing the war, he said. We're dealing with a terrorist mindset that thwarts chaos and bloodshed embodied in a state, the mindset which openly violates the UN Charter and challenges the rules-based international system. Survives because its crimes go unpunished, Turkish President Erdogan said. So this is a serious situation. I think that
it's just a serious. I mean, what he said right there, am I bad to cut you off? Their crimes go unpunished. They're committing international, they're breaking international laws, they're breaking humanitarian laws, and there's nothing nobody's doing. They're gonna have to do something about it. Them bombing Qatar was a horrible thing to do. They should have never done that. And then I don't know if somebody came out. I don't know if it's real or not, but they said they looked at the US and like, you're gonna have to make it. Qatar said you're gonna have to make a choice. Either you're gonna ride on them with us for this, or we're just gonna cut you off.
I mean, basically, from what I've heard from Qatar, they were more like trying to toe around the line. Like, did America have something to do with this or not? So we can't say, you know what I mean, this, that, and third, because there's a base. We have a major, our major base in the Middle East is in Qatar. You know what I mean? It's not too far away. So everyone's saying the United States has something to do with this because we would know if anything enters that airspace because we have a military base there. So we would know. On top of that, they're saying that, I mean, those drones had to fly through other people's airspace as well. Saudi Arabia, other countries, Syria, airspace to get to Qatar. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of people who are very much like these other countries knew this was going on. So it's a kind of a slippery slope right now. But Saudi Arabia has come out and said that they're going to back Qatar. They just made a peace agreement. They just made a defense pact with Pakistan. Pakistan's a nuclear nation right now. They got nuclear weapons. I think that they're getting in that mindset. You know what? We don't have nukes. If we try to go get nukes, people, what are they going to do to us? They're going to probably come after us next. So why not align ourselves with a nuclear capable country right now? So if something does happen, they can't threaten us with nukes. So that's a smart move to make. I just feel like right now, if these countries, that we're not going to help. We're not going to do anything to stop this. So if these countries in the Middle East, the Arab nations, and as well as other Middle Eastern countries don't kind of come together to fight against this, this is like bombing New York City, man. Qatar is a nice country. I know a lot of people want to act like the Middle East is just ran down. They're one of the most wealthy countries in the world. Their currency is worth more than ours. They're basic, like, you know, their per capita income is greater than the United States per person. You know what I'm saying? So This is not a poor country that they just, oh, this is some Yemen or something. No, it's not. This is, I mean, Doha is a beautiful capital. For them to have done this is huge. And they told him, hey, we'll do it again with impunity.
Yeah,
wherever these people are, we'll do it.
What are you going to do
Donald Trump? Yeah, Trump comes out and says, oh, they're not going to bomb Qatar again. Well, they allegedly didn't tell you to 10 minutes after they did it, bro. So what do they even care about you? You're basically Epstein to them. They can just say Epstein's name in your ear. And you're going to, you know what I mean? It's like Beetlejuice, Epstein. They can say it to you. You're going to, you know, you'll run away pretty much. That's what this basically boils down to, man.
Another, somebody else that was from Israel, and he came out, he's like, he's part of IDF. He's like, yeah, we do have the videos of Donald Trump sleeping with young women. He's like, he's our asset. You know what I'm saying? Like they have it and Russia has it because he's not tough on either one of them.
At all.
The thing with Israel, it's like, I think they've just stretched themselves so far that in a minute, you know, all the countries, America can't fight everyone. We could try, but we can't fight everyone, especially if we're going to try to start a war in Venezuela, which you've already started. You done blew up 2 boats without even checking for drugs on them. Because I mean, honestly, if they wanted to do it, the American ships could have surrounded those boats, stopped them, pulled the people off, and then showed, look, hey, they're traveling, they're bringing drugs on these boats.
Could have sent out like the little swift boats or something. Could have sent out little small, you know what I mean, and to stop these guys. There's been no issue to do it. Put some helicopters in the air around them. They're not going anywhere. They're stopping that easy. They don't want to do that. He wants to invade Venezuela, man. We're about to be in several fronts wars. That's just my personal opinion, man. I think it's going to happen soon.
I just hope one of those videos just gets released so we can get rid of him. I mean, he's not going to leave. He'd be like, and what? What are you going to do to make me leave?
They can't release those videos. They can't release those videos. If they do that, then they've lost everything. It's over. Then they pretty much don't have him anymore as an asset anymore. They need to lord these over him and let him keep making money, let him keep siphoning money out of the system the way he is, and allow him to just,
allegedly, Wes, even if the videos came out, he ain't leaving. He'd be like, and what? What you gonna do about it?
I think it would just be a lot more like people against him at that point in time. He'd lose. I mean, he'd lose a lot of his rank and file in the House. He'd lose a lot of his rank and file in the Senate, and he would really have to fight. He'd have to fight.
He has the power of a king. He don't need him.
But I just think it would be a lot more difficult. I hear what you're saying, but I think people would kind of look at him a lot differently. And if they have videos, like literal videos of this grown man messing with, I mean, he's gonna lose he's gonna keep his most staunch supporters. He's gonna keep those guys. Because you saw what happened when they wouldn't release the Epstein files, how far it went. You know, he lost a lot of people from his base. He lost them.
He's lost a lot of people from his base there. I mean, I've seen videos of they're interviewing people from rural places. I mean, him just crushing the farmers right now.
Yeah.
Saying like they said, soybeans, what is China bought like 78% of our soybeans.
They said they spent over $15 billion last year, and they bought $15 billion worth of soybeans last year. And
they bought zero.
They bought zero this year. This year so far, $0 in soybeans.
And they're not waiting for anything to get fixed. They done found other places to buy their soybeans. So that business isn't coming back
at all. They said that even if they got 100% of all the other soybean business that were out there, it would not even cover half of what China normally buys. So it doesn't, it's not like we can go find new markets to sell these soybeans. China's put infrastructure into Brazil and into Africa to grow new soybeans so to replace our market in general. This is what idiocy does. This is what a person who does not really understand business, what he does. This is his base. He's crushed them. These guys, there's been more farmer suicides, unalivings, I should say, of themselves since all this has happened. A lot of it's been the numbers have spiked through the roof.
4 or 5 generation old farmers. You know what I'm saying? And people don't understand, like America and our trade stuff, it's a delicate balance. We trade with our enemies. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We trade with everyone. And the reason we do that is because there's things that they have that we need and things we have that they need. You know what I'm saying? And when you try to muscle everybody, they're like, look, we'll just go somewhere else and get it, bro. You're not the end all be all. We don't really export a lot of stuff out of America. Soybeans is one. Gooey ducks is one. You know what I'm saying? But nobody's buying our cars. You know what I'm saying? The biggest export I think out of here is music.
I think that 40%. We're the second largest exporter in the world. We do export things, but we're not. But when you lose, we're 40%. We make 40% more food than what we need. So that's a huge export for us. We're able to do that. But there's a lot of other places they can go to get this stuff from. This is just a way for them to kind of keep trade balance with us. But if we keep on pushing everybody, eventually, you know what's going to happen? They're going to leave. They're not gonna, you know what? We're not gonna do business with you anymore. We don't care. We can turn you into a pariah. You know what I mean? And that's what we're gonna end up becoming.
Yeah, and think about it. It's like these, but like you said, that trade's not coming back. They're going to find other things. No one's going to suffer because, you know what I'm saying, our leaders want to try to muscle everybody. You can muscle people in America, but you can't muscle other countries. They ain't, look at India. They're like, all right, cool. Take your little call centers back. You know what I'm saying? They're like, oh, it's going to cost us. We'll keep doing what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? We can find business everywhere else. And so it's just bad business going on right now. And it's all for the sake of Israel. Last one before we head out. 2 men found hanging from trees in Mississippi on the same day. Mississippi is reeling after 2 separate but eerily similar tragedies unfold on a Monday, leaving families, friends, and entire communities searching for answers. Within just hours of each other, 2 men, one a young college student and the other a homeless man, were found dead, hanging from trees in different parts of the state. The shocking find, one in Cleveland and another in Vicksburg, have rocked the public confidence, stirred demands for openness, and rekindled bitter reminders of racial violence in the South. The initial tragedy hit Delta State University in Cleveland, Mississippi. At about 7:05 a.m., campus police found a body of 20-year-old university student Trey Reed hanging from a tree by the pickleball yard. The report was confirmed by University Police Chief Michael L. Peer in a press conference, stating no evidence of foul play has been discovered to this point. First of all, as I keep reading this article, he was found both his legs were broken. Can't hang yourself that way. Anyways, the body of Reed was turned over to Boulevard County Coroner's Office, the Mississippi Bureau of Investigations, and other authorities to aid the investigations. As authorities look into it as a suicide, speculation is everywhere. Social media has been abuzz with theories and outrage, some pointing to evidence of physical abuse on Reed's corpse. One of visual messages reads, "Tell me, Trey Reed was found beaten with 3 broken limbs. What the hell kind of suicide is that?" The tragedy loomed over what should have been a week of pride in Delta State, the university having previously announced it would start its centennial observation on the same day. Called off all the observations and closed classes. Counseling services were available to students and staff. Our community is deeply saddened by their loss. Delta State announced in a statement, "We extend our heartfelt condolences to the family and friends impacted." Hours earlier at 1:30 p.m., police in Vicksburg received an alarming telephone call. The body of a male was discovered hanging from a tree in a densely forested area of the Armistar Casino. The coroner identified the deceased as Brandon White male, Corey Zucatis, 36. Zucatis was homeless. His death was confirmed by Warren County Coroner Doug L. Husky, who said, Zucatis had been discovered about 10:30 a.m., but released no further information. Little is to be learned about Zucatis' later days or the circumstances surrounding of his death. No evidence indicates foul play has yet been released by authorities, but the circumstance resembled to Reed's death, namely both men suspended from trees in the states of Mississippi within several hours of one another, has the nation in an uproar. Now, like I stated before I even let the article finish, they found Trey Reed. He was beaten and his limbs were broken, but somehow he hung himself. And so anyways, and they're always going to say it's ruled a suicide, ladies and gentlemen. And this is what they do. Whenever they find a black man or a black woman hanging in America, they rule a suicide. Just like the trucker that we reported. What was that? In the Carolinas, was it?
Yep. North Carolina.
And I'm going to explain to you why they call it a suicide. Because you went somewhere you shouldn't have been, nigger. You killed yourself. That's why they call it a suicide. There's been a multitude of hangings. Multitude. And they always say it's a suicide. And, you know, at this point, no one's going to protect us. No one's going to come save us. Carry your guns. And I'm suspecting it's mostly like here is probably somebody at the school, but usually it's the police doing it to him. Like the guy in the Carolinas, the police got to him. Usually
they had the twins over in Georgia as well too. I mean, that was a strange situation. I mean, this has been a consistent, ongoing thing. We tend to find a lot of our people hung, things of that nature. It's just, I mean, to me, first they told his parents first they found him in his dorm room. That's where they first found him at. Then they later told him that he found him hanging from a tree. You know, I mean, so what's the truth? That's a huge jump right there between being found outside somewhere hanging from a tree and being found in your dorm room to being no signs of foul play to being beaten with both your limbs broken. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, how do you
3 limbs, brother? 3 limbs. So both his legs and one of his arms, but somehow he's
wow. You're strong enough to do all this stuff to get you know what I mean?
Get out of here.
That's determination at that point in time. I mean, let's just be honest here. And it's happening in Mississippi. Not to say it couldn't happen anywhere in the United States, but
Mississippi, it's happened in the Carolinas. They found people hanging in New York. They found people hanging in Ohio. They found people hanging all over this country. You can actually Google it and find them. They always say the same thing. Oh, they hung themselves. They'd be like, there's no sign of struggle. You want to know why? Because it was either the police that rounded them up or people pretending to be police. Allegedly. So this guy, Trey, it probably wasn't the police because he was beaten to death. He was lynched, he was beaten, and then he was hung from a tree. Old America has never left. People need to understand they call for the Civil War, but the Civil War never ended for us. It just got smarter and got quieter. And they keep doing the same things to us. So while the rest of you are out here crying, I'm tooled up. You know what I'm saying? And one thing, you're not going to catch me on the street slipping. You're not going to run up on me on some BS. You know what I'm saying? People don't mess with me no more. I guess I just look angry and I'm ready for violence. It's crazy. People see me out and I smile. I'm always having a good time. But this whole place can burn.
That's too bad, man. We're at a point right now to where there is going to be violence between, I understand, there's going to be violence between the races. And this is where we're at right now. There's no turning back from this point because this is what they've wanted. This wasn't done. Some of these things I believe were done, like the Charlie Kirk. That was done to incite violence. I thought that from the very beginning. When I first saw that happen, I was like, this was done. These are all like conspiracy theories that I'm just bringing up, but this was done to incite, racial violence. People want violence between the races.
You think so? Allegedly, you think I think maybe his own side murdered him.
Who?
You know what I'm saying? Charlie Kirk.
I mean, yeah, no, this is what I'm saying right now. This is exactly what I'm saying. Like, yeah, I mean, when you're coming out immediately pointing the finger at someone else, I mean, this is what you want it to be. It does, because at the end of the day, what they always say, a retraction never is as loud as the actual accusation. So it doesn't matter. You can go along with what it is. Now they're pushing this whole entire, he had a trans, like people act like that. Like I said, trans does not make you left leaning. That just, it's just your personal preference as a sexual preference. It has nothing to do with your politics. You don't just come out of the womb. You know how many, to be honest with you, and this is a horrible term, I don't like to use it too much, but most people who are in the closet are Republicans. It's you guys who are afraid to come out and say what you are, and that makes you a lot more angry. You got what do you got? What do you got? Us in South Carolina? What do you call her? Lady who?
Lady G.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot allegedly, and there's a lot of you.
Because if they could be like they know what they got over here, but as soon as they come, they probably got pictures, all kind of stuff. I mean, even the Minneapolis shooter, there was the same school shooting that same day as Charlie's, right? Mm-hmm. That dude, he was right-wing extremist. He had all kind of stuff, and they keeping that. They don't want to talk about him. You know what I'm saying? But it's like
they caused a kid, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a kid.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and this kid over here who shot Charlie Kirk, he was into guns. Everything about him was right wing. Everything about him, except for the fact that who he cared about. I don't think the sexual preference is a sign of which side of the political spectrum you're on. Like I said again,
well, that's just like they just want to throw the trans in there because they need a target other than themselves.
What were you saying earlier? Just to kind of wrap this up, you were saying something about a politician coming out calling for a ban on trans or to lock up trans people. You were talking about that
recently. I can't remember his name. We can pull it up on the next.
It's a woman. I believe it's a woman. It was a woman who's.
I don't think it was Nancy Mace. It was actually
it was Mace. She came out and said something about this too. So she was like, they hate me because I was a victim of SA and I'm coming after them and they should be put in straitjackets and they should be locked up. And this was what she said on camera. They were like pretty much, I think she had a back and forth with Don Lemon.
That's before she knew of what the shooter was. She thought it was just because they were saying the showcases had some stuff about trans. And so she came out there, she was talking big mad about trans people, this and that. And then she got online, said the same thing. And then she found out, he was just a regular 22-year-old white kid. And then she changed her tone. But you see how quick they changed their tone because it was someone that looks like them.
Absolutely.
Now, and the only thing that saved us at the moment, you don't even understand. The dude on the subway, the guy that's schizophrenic, that stabbed the little foreign lady with the knife, they was coming for us. They're all monsters. They all need to go. They'll never learn.
I'm gonna be honest, that dude is a monster. That dude was a monster who did that. Right?
He does.
He should never be let out of prison ever again. They should. I mean,
but the whole thing is like this: they look at him and they see all of us. We're supposed to look at this one shooter and the one in Minnesota and see a lone wolf, but they look at them. They look at one black person committing a crime and they look at all of us, and we're all supposed to be forgiving. We're all you don't even notice how he should be locked. Yeah, he should be locked up. I'm not gonna forgive. No, I'm not apologizing for shit he did. He ain't me. I don't speak for all one black person doesn't speak for me, and their actions don't speak for me, and I don't speak for all of them. I'm an individual, but they don't look at it like that. And so the whole thing is like this, bro. It's like you're not going to blame me for the actions of other, but if you come at me like that, I'm going to show you what it is. You know what I'm saying? And with that, ladies and gentlemen, it's uncommon courtesy. Until next time.
It's been 240 days since the occupation.
Since the occupation.